So, welcome to Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. Um, we're here with Bowie Jane, um, third runner up from BB25. It, Bowie Jane, how are you feeling? And congratulations again on being third place and also not touching the block like ever. And welcome to the Big Brother family. I was on Big BB21, so I know your pain.
Ah, yes.
And all the good stuff too. But how are you feeling now that you've been out for 5 days?
Oh my gosh, it is wild. It's just hard to comprehend the whole coming out of the house thing, especially being there for 100 days. So that's why when I opened that door, I was like, what? Like I just was, what can you do? Like I've lost. I'm not gonna storm out of the house. Like
Some people
um
do.
Oh yeah, no, I always had in my head I was never going to be a bad sport about it. So yeah, it's great to be out, and it's a real adjustment. I was saying before that like things like not being under TV lighting all day, it's like and noise and all that kind of stuff. It's little things you don't realize. It's weird being out of the house.
Yeah, I think mine was when I first looked at myself in the mirror, like coming out of a shower. I was like freaked out. I was like, what is
Yes.
so yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was in the house for 79 days and I was just like, oh my God, like yeah, I completely understand. But you're 5 days out now.
Yeah.
And so you've had some time to kind of, well, a little bit of time to decompress, kind of like maybe check your socials. I don't know. It gets really crazy. It'll be like that for a few months probably. But what's the most surprising thing outside of Jared and Suri? Of course, that's probably one of the main surprises. But what are you surprised to find out now that you're out of the house?
About the game.
About yeah, about the game, about how you're being perceived, about how basically anything. The first thing that you were surprised about.
Yeah, I obviously haven't watched it yet, and I'm only seeing snippets on Twitter. So I'm surprised by all the memes. It's like pretty funny. The Listerine, the FBJ, like the my jury question, all that stuff going crazy. It's really funny. So I've got a good sense of humor. So no worries about that. But yeah,
Do you
all of
have a
that stuff is.
favorite?
What was that?
Do you have a favorite one?
Oh, I mean, the FBJ thing's pretty funny. I mean, I haven't even seen them all yet. I just saw some more today and I was like, oh my gosh, this is too good.
Yeah, yeah, you have been a source of entertainment the whole season. I feel for you too because I fell off a wall a long time ago and that still is those memes live on now.
Yeah, right.
They do. So yeah, you just kind of have to enjoy the moment. Let's talk a little bit about game. You came in, okay. What what did you know about Big Brother and like before coming in, and what was your strategy to coming in?
So I've watched a lot of the Australian Big Brother. Like I was a big fan of that, but it's a bit different. The audience votes. It's not alliances so much. It's way less aggressive. But I also watched about 5 or 6 seasons. I can't remember of Big Brother USA, and I love it. It absolutely it's enthralling. I've also watched BB Can, and yeah, so I had also listened to every breakdown podcast before I went on the show to make sure I understood strategy that people had used in the past. So one thing I'd obviously noticed, and this is BB 101, that if you're too aggressive at the start, you'll get kicked off, and you're playing too hard. This happened on our season, and I made sure that I was not that person doing that. So my aim was to get to about the halfway point by establishing good relationships, being alliances. Those crazy people can drop off, and then start winning comps at that point. Once I was sure I had a solid circle around me of people who would protect me the week after when I couldn't play in HOH. So, and I could do that when I was with Corey, America, Matt, and Jag. At that point, you could win comps because we're all putting our heads out a bit. So, yeah, that was my strategy. And then my strategy with Jag and Matt was to keep working on Jag, get to the final three. I thought there was a good chance he would take me, but I also thought I can win comps. And then we both got heaps of blood on our hands. It would be even playing field when presenting to the jury.
So we know that this is very different than the Big Brother that you watched before, but you said that you did watch a couple of seasons. Who were your favorites, or that you idolized, or you thought you would love to play your game like on those seasons? What 3 people could you name?
Well, so with Taylor, for example, her game was, you know, traumatic for sure. But when I was in the house and we were getting down to those final numbers, I was kept drawing back on every interview I've listened to her with her, and thinking, like, what did she do to get Monty to take her to the final 2? So I was thinking about all those kinds of things. As far as who I'd want to play the game with, well, I love Derek X. I thought he was hilarious. And for me, when someone's a good hang, I don't mind, and a good player, I would like to be on a team with him. I really thought Joseph was loyal. I would be on a team with him. Oh gosh, I'm going back. I watched All Stars. I think that was 22, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but you know, the names in my head are out the window right now.
It happens.
Even Cody, you know, I thought I would probably team up with him, I guess. But he's, you know, he's athletic. I figured he plays the game well. He's not too controversial. Or the season I watched anyway. And then in BB Can 6, I don't know about anyone in particular in that. I watched that one. That was a great season. So yeah, there's a couple of players, but I would be looking for loyal people, for people who are good competitors. Mostly the loyal thing is very important to me, so that you can trust people moving forward, which is hard in this game.
Oh, it's so very hard. Yeah. So you're talking about loyalty, and I know that you've mentioned in past interviews that betrayal just isn't your thing. So let's go back, because it seemed like you were good with the whole house. Obviously, nobody had put you up. You had really good standing relationships. One of the very first alliances you had was Bye Bye Bitches. So what happened there? Were you loyal to them? Were you planning on staying with them? What happened, and why did that just not happen? And
yeah,
go on.
I was as shocked as anyone else that, well, I mean, no one watching would have been shocked because they could see what was going on. I just didn't realize there would be 35, 40 alliances where people are in multiple alliances. So I thought there'd be a couple of big alliances, and then within that alliance there'd be some smaller groups, which was ours. Bye Bye Bitches, part of the Professors / Legend 25. So I just thought the Bye Bye Bitches, that's great. The girls, we've got a good group of numbers there, and we've got Saria's played Survivor. Mimi, I knew she'd be a good competitor, and I just thought this was good for me, the 5 girls to go forward. But obviously that just wasn't a real thing, but I didn't realize until I was blindsided. And it was the best thing that could have happened to me, the blindside, because I then started working with Corey, America, Matt, and Jag. And like my first chat with America was she wanted to make a big move with Izzy. So I was like, well, if we've got the numbers, let's do it. So those kind of conversations happened almost the next week. So that was exciting to be part of a team that were talking strategy with me, rather than the other one. I guess I was being told what to do more.
I'm going to be honest. I thought you should have made it to the final 2. And now I have a question for you about, did you think that you can beat Matt or Jag? And who do you think you had more of a chance in beating?
So with Matt, I did not think I could beat him. No, although maybe I would have had Cameron, Corey, I'm not sure, and maybe America. So, but I think I only had 3 with him in potential votes. With Jag, I just thought it was a bit more of an even playing field, because we both had the same amount of blood on our hands. He played a little more aggressively, so I didn't know if that would work in his favor for a vote or against him. So I thought, yes, I would have a better chance against Jag. And I said to Jag, you will have a better chance against me than Matt. I truly believed that. So yeah, and the final 2, I thought I could get there, but either winning a comp or Jag taking me. Obviously, me talking to him about him taking Matt from 4 to 3. That was, for me to win, should have pushed for Felicia to go through, but it's not my style. So I knew that I would have a better chance if Felicia went through, but I really wanted him to make that decision so he had no regrets after the game. To me, if I'd made that decision, if I was him, I would feel really bad, maybe forever. So I didn't think it was worth it.
Final question. Do you, now looking at everything and just kind of seeing how everything went through, is there anything that you regret? Do you wish you would have done something differently?
Well, about this game being the first time I've played, I wouldn't change a single thing. But if I was to play again, I don't think the blind side would happen. I would just have my eyes a bit more open with that kind of stuff, and the fact that there could be all those alliances. So I think that would be the only way I would play it different. Otherwise, I think I did the right thing, and I was never on the block, so I was doing something right there. And I would try and find my people a little earlier, I think. But it is good to disguise that too. So the fact that I came in halfway with those people kind of worked in my favor, because people didn't know where I sat. But I was sitting very tightly with that group.
Yeah.
Well, Jane, did you have an eviction speech ready?
If you mean
a finale speech ready?
I did, yes.
Could you tell us? I mean, if that's the last question, can you give us your eviction speech?
Well, I mean, not word for word do I have it ready to go, but the points I was going to raise were, you thought I was playing the middle. I was never playing the middle. I was, in fact, Corey, America, Matt, Jack, and I, we met, we discussed the fact that we should give the impression to the rest of the house I was playing the middle, but really they would be off in their groups. Corey and America would be off in their groups. I was in the middle. That way, no one was ever going to put me up. So that's why I was never nominated. I was not nominated for 100 days. I'll then say I made the big move with Cameron. I took him out because it was a threat to my game. He was putting a target on my back. As much as I absolutely adore Cameron, being associated with him would mean I was out the door in a week or two. I'd be talking about the fact that I won 3 head of households, and that I on purpose didn't win any comps until halfway for that very reason, because if you won a comp and you didn't have a strong team around you, you'd be kicked out the door. So I played a loyal game as well to the people I was actually in a team with. And yeah, I think that would be the general gist of what I'd be saying. Oh, and that I'm the great representative to be for Big Brother 25.
We love it.
Well,
but you know what? Just one other thing. So when we had to prepare this, they said, don't forget to prepare a speech or whatever, which I don't know if everyone did, but I was like, right, I need to prepare something to say to Matt if he wins that comp, so that I can quickly have a word in his ear to take me to the final 2. I then need to have a speech for the final 2. I also need to have potentially a jury question if I lose, like all these things, and you don't have pen and paper in the house. So
it's so horrible. Yeah, it's the worst part. You really have to be in a zone for that. I mean, your season and just finalizing all of this, because unfortunately we don't have enough time. But I always say Big Brother is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. And your cast was so chaotic and it's so crazy. Like, it was wild. All good people, but in all honesty, we have never seen so many people just spill, divulge, do all of these things, never keep anything in their mouth. And looking back, I mean, I thought my season was pretty bad with the secrets too, but yours might have won that, BB. You guys broke records for sure.
I am so glad to hear this. I was wondering every day in the house, I was like, is this a chaotic situation? Because it feels like it. Were other seasons like this? Because I couldn't tell when I watched them. That's what I thought. But
no, but
it was.
Thank you so much for your time. Of course, you are welcome to always be on our podcast if you ever wanted to do so. Maybe for a reindeer game. Are you going to be watching that? Because reindeer games. Oh, are you playing?
I mean, not that I know, but I'm down for anything. But absolutely. Let me know with any of that. I'm love to do podcasts. I've got a podcast myself, so I am.
Yes, we're so aware. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to touch base offline. Thank you so much, Bowie Jane.
Thank you, Bowie Jane.
FBJ.
Yeah.